bit about herself. So if she'll tell you a little bit, if you can tell them where you went to school, what you got your degree in and stuff. I think that's always interesting for our students to kind of see, our presenter's background. So she's going to tell you about SPC scholarships. So any questions you might have, feel free to ask her. Also, some things to remember. We will have we'll be going to LCU on Friday. So if you want to go with us, please sign up. We'll be leaving about 9. We should be back about 1:32. And then also pre-registration starts on November 7th. So if you haven't signed up with your advisor, go ahead and get signed up so you can get registered for your classes. Also, FAFSA, it's open already for next fall, next spring, next summer for 2026, 2027. So also sign up with your advisor to get that filled out, okay, if you haven't done that. So, all right.
Okay, so I am a graduate of Loveland High School. With that being said, SPC is where I started my higher education. I graduated from SPC in 1998 and then went on to West Texas A&M University in Canyon and got my bachelor's in accounting. So I've been at the college since 2011. Love it. Loved it as a student. Love it as administration. As you said, I'm in the scholarship office. I award all scholarships that come from the foundation. I also award your outside scholarships from your third parties. So like Choctaw Nation, Rotary Club, all those nice little scholarships that y'all apply for and hopefully receive. We get those checks sent to us and then we apply them to your account. So it's very, very busy at the beginning of the year. So this is a great time for me to talk to scholarships with y'all in October. So you see the text wraps on your desk. That is actually a cooler, a slap cooler. That QR code is going to take you to the SPC scholarship portal. Now, if you click on it right now, it's going to show that it's closed. We're updating for the 26-27 school year, which is going to begin November 14th. That's when I'm shooting to have the portal open. So that scholarship application will be open for you to start applying if you're coming back for the fall 26, spring 27 school year. Anytime you want scholarship money, you need to apply every year. Do you have to redo everything? No, just update stuff. Get new recommendation letters, add to your activity resume, get involved here on campus. There's lots of clubs and organizations. Volunteer in your communities outside of school. We look for things that you do, whether it be employment history or volunteer work through your church. Maybe you're part of some service club organizations. If you have kids, maybe you're in PTO. We want to know what you do outside of your time, besides going to school and raising a family. We want to know what else you do. Is it worth it? Yeah. How many of y'all applied and got scholarships? I know I have one. Cool. All right. So as long as you have the application turned in by March 1st, you should be eligible for anything that you meet the criteria for. I start awarding scholarships the end of June, end of May, 1st of June for returning students. We have to get our high schools out first, but it is open to any and everybody. So if you want to share the link, share it. I'm actually still awarding scholarship money because it's not been all accepted. And I will continue to do that until it's all accepted. Other requirements, there's not really any requirements to get a scholarship. You have to have at least a 2.0 grade point average. Go to class. If you go to class, you're going to make that grade easily. We do require that you be enrolled full time, but we have a few scholarships for our non-traditional students that are 25 and older that can give you a little bit of leeway for going part-time. Departments also have scholarship money. So just because you receive a general scholarship, it doesn't mean that you might not receive another scholarship from your department. So if you have a general studies major, I encourage you to get more specific. Whether you want to be like a lawyer, do business as your major, or even government, something that can lead you. And those won't lead you to becoming a lawyer, because I know some AgCom majors that are trying to get into law school and whatnot. But if you'll at least pick a specific major, you might get some department money that you would not have been eligible for had you not changed your major. So do it. I don't like having to beg students to take my money. And I'm kind of at that point, yes.
Is there a certain GPA? I don't know if you mentioned it. For them to have.
The minimum is a 2.0, and the highest I think that we have for one of our scholarships is like a 3.0 or 3.25. If you're currently in the honors college or PTK, Phi Theta Kappa, they also have scholarship money. So talk with those sponsors for those. You never know. They may say, hey, let me help you. But get involved. That's a big thing. The more they see and hear your name, the more your name's going to pop up when they're trying to get students chosen for those awards that they're giving out for next year. If you're transferring to schools, if you're graduating in SPC in December or in the spring, go ahead and start looking at the websites for the institution if you're transferring to. We do have agreements with, I think, LCU, WT, and Tech. Some of them do have transfer scholarships for Tech. That is done through Texas Tech. It's usually going to be done through the school that you're transferring to. So get with their scholarship office or their admissions office. You can even look it up online to see if they have any transfer scholarships that you might be eligible for. I know the big one is for Tech. And from what I've been told, it's automatic as long as you meet the requirements. So as long as their admissions office knows that you're coming in and whatnot, that's money that's just basically going to be sitting aside waiting for you once you register for your classes. It is available. So there may be other opportunities within that. Do you have to complete an application or rewrite your essay and all that good stuff every time you do one? No. Get one really good paragraph or good scholarship essay. You can always adjust that to whatever scholarship you're filling out for whatever school. Just make sure you switch names, switch it up a bit. Most of the time, they're going to ask you generally the same things. But if you've got a good template, you can always adjust it to fit what they're asking for. On ours, we just have short essay answer questions because we felt like the essay was scaring students, so to speak. So we just went to short answers. So we ask normally the questions of why SPC? What do you hope to accomplish? We ask what's you're most proud of, a goal that you might have accomplished that you're proud of. We've also asked what has been a challenge. And then we open it up. We say, is there anything else you want to tell us about? Tell us about yourself that we haven't asked in the previous questions. There is a word limit. However, we have a tracker on that. But take time and answer those questions and write more than one sentence, please. As with any application for scholarships and whatnot, we have a committee of faculty members that look at every application at least 3 times. So your application is scored by that average of 3. So the more precise you are in your answers and the more thoroughly you write on your answers, the better your chances of getting a high score on that part of the application. Normally they do all that. I download it and I start awarding from 100 on down, just as applications or scholarships are needing to be awarded and the students are meeting the criteria. Can you get more than one? Sure, you can get more than one. You can get 2 general, you can get a department, you can get a general, a department, and then the department may give you another application or another scholarship. There is no limit. If you need help, my office is here to help. But it does require a little bit of work on your part. I would love to give every student on SPC campus a scholarship. I would love it, but I can't do that. So, and our donors are wanting specific students to fill their scholarship, to receive their scholarship money. But I will try my hardest to find and help you in any way that I can. Do y'all have questions for me? Or y'all
What's the as far as letters of recommendation, like are they required, and if they are, what are some tips for students to know about letters of recommendation?
They aren't required, but you do get scored on that requirement. You can have up to 3. We ask that you at least turn in 1. And we like for it to be a favorable recommendation, meaning don't ask the professor that you don't go to their class and then just say, hey, can you give me a recommendation letter for my application? Because it's probably not going to be a very good letter. Ask a teacher, maybe a boss, a supervisor, somebody that knows your character that's not a family member. Normally, those relationships that you have built, that's a good opportunity for somebody that you work closely with to maybe give a different view or a different perspective on your work habits, your personality, and so forth. But we do ask for at least 1. You can have up to 3. We have an option where they can either give it to you and you can upload it in a PDF file, or if you want to just email the request to them, they can log in and submit that directly to your application. And our reviewers can look at it through their files whenever they're going through and looking at applications and whatnot.
So do they have any other questions?
The money is out there. Now, scams and whatnot, yes. Be careful what information you give out. But for the most part, legitimate opportunities are actually going to have good information, a link. Your employer may even have a scholarship tuition assistance. I know like Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, they do have scholarship money that they can give to their students through tuition support programs through their organizations. Your local churches, Catholic Family Services, I know they give out money and whatnot. Just be smart in what you give them. They should never ask for your social security number. I don't feel like we don't even ask that on our application. They should never ask you for bank account, checking account information. You shouldn't have to buy anything to get a scholarship. I mean, if it's free money, it's not going to cost you anything except maybe the time it takes for you to complete that application. Yes.
How does that thank you letter work?
I'm getting ready to send those out today. So be checking your SPC email address. We do require that you write thank you notes if you did receive a scholarship. That email should go out sometime after lunch today, this afternoon. It's going to tell you how to write it, what to write. It's going to give you your donors, their donor representatives, their name, and it's going to give you the salutation to use. You also have a great resource in the Writing Center up here on the 3rd floor. And we've actually got links for the Writing Centers to where you can make appointments with them. We have links for a sample letter. We ask that you don't copy it, but it will at least give you an idea of what we're looking for. And we even have attached to it stationery. So if you don't have any stationery, but you have access to a color copier or printer, you can print out some stationery that will look nice. We like for you to handwrite your letter. I know handwriting is not a skill that's taught consistently in the schools. My handwriting is horrible, so I will admit that. But we do like for you to handwrite it. But even if you do type it, that is okay if you use a word processor to type that thank you letter. We still ask that you physically sign it, though. Just like anything, it needs to be personal. You can share as much information as you want. You can be as impersonable or as personable as you want. It's up to you, but they do want to know what you're doing and what you're here for. We also have a scholarship banquet. So you may have gotten a scholarship in memory of or in honor of. Those are who is asked to attend. If it's a foundation, not so much. But our annual banquet is going to be Thursday, November 13th. And they've started asking or sending out invitations for that also. So if you get either one of those emailed to your SPC email address, that's how you know it's not fake. It's going to go directly to your SPC email address. So if you see either one of those, please take the time to read it and respond to those with the information they're requesting from you. The scholarship banquet is just an opportunity for you to meet your donor. The donor reps are there. You get a nice meal. I don't know. They may have some entertainment. I know they'll have at least a speaker. Hopefully, maybe one of our distinguished alumni will speak. But it's just a nice, relaxed evening for you to meet your donor rep and representative in person. It's a good opportunity to use your communication skills and not be shy. But it's also an opportunity for you to make another contact. Meeting and discussing, meeting your reps may evolve into a business relationship that's going to be something that might benefit you in the future. Whether it be if you're looking for a job or if you need another reference letter, some type of those things. We've got donors that will actually keep in touch with their scholarship recipients way after they've graduated from SPC. So it's a good networking tool. If you ever have the opportunity to go to any organizational functions that are outside of the school or part of the school, do it. Those connections that you make at events like that, you never know how they may produce or be fruitful for you in the future when you're job hunting or looking for support in business ventures and so forth. You just have to put yourself out there. You can do it.
Any other questions? Scholarships?
Actually, Lynn, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
Because a lot of our students, they struggle with the challenge question. Like, what was the biggest challenge you faced?
Mm-hmm.
So are there any tips that you would give to say this is kind of what our committee is looking for, or like maybe something to steer clear from? Because sometimes they come up with things like, well, I broke up with my boyfriend and that was a challenge. And so, I mean, we've seen those essays before, so I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily
right
what they're wanting. And are there any tips that you can give on what would be good topics to write on?
Life events. Although I am sad that you broke up with your boyfriend, it needs to be more concrete on how it affects you and the things that you're trying to attain or trying to accomplish. For instance, you may have dyslexia. Now, that might not be something you want to share or whatnot, but if you can point out, not necessarily medical, or just, I have a lot of students that mental health. We have some students that have lost a parent, or they come from a family of addiction, or they've been in the foster care system. I'm not saying that anything that happens to you is not a life-changing event, but it needs to be something that maybe becomes more of an obstacle, not necessarily for your heart, but your goals in your everyday life. Maybe you're having to raise a sibling because maybe your parents aren't involved, or they can't be involved. They may be incarcerated, or they may be sick and not in good health. How do you cope with that, but how do you help your family get through those types of situations where it might not be the normal route that somebody will seek or get help from, but it may be a way that you can open the eyes of somebody else and let them know how you handle it, just without throwing your hands up and saying, poor pitiful me, this is why. I know that's why, but what are you doing to get past it? Those type of situations. You have such an opportunity here at South Plains College. We give out we've given out at least $1 million each year from the foundation. And back 10 years ago, the foundation had maybe $25,000 in assets, maybe. It wasn't a lot. It was under 10 million. We've gone up to almost 40 million in assets. So our donors have been happy with the way that we have spent the money that they've given us, and they've been happy with the progress that they see in you, our students. So as long as we can keep continuing that trend, it may be 2 million in the next 5 years. Whatever money I have to give, I'm going to give out. And that will be money that will benefit y'all in your educational goals and journeys. It's nice to receive something that you might not necessarily, we know you want it, but you might not necessarily think you'll ever receive it. You won't know unless you try. And it might be a big enough spark to where when you are in a position to do the same, that you will have the opportunity to do it in the future at a school of your choice, or at a school that is near and dear, or an organization that's near and dear to your heart. It may not be a school or a college. It may be a children's hospital, or it may be a resource center, or some type of other organization that has touched your heart. We want y'all to know that you're loved. And this is our way of showing our love to you, because without y'all, we wouldn't be here. And South Plains College is just a neat place in my book. It could have been in Littlefield. They said no. They wanted the Dinner Mill. Well, the Dinner Mill is no longer in Littlefield. South Plains College is still here. So we know it's a need that for this area, and we want to continue to support that need. But with y'all attending, without y'all, we wouldn't be here. So,
any other questions?
We had some students that came in late.
yes,
Just like a quick recap on the dates.
yes. So, yes, the application for 26-27 for the fall and spring next year, it's going to open November 14th. All of our applications are due by March 1st. That date will never change. The opening date may, but usually March 1st or as close to March 1st as it can be. I think I've kept it March 1st, which is a Sunday. So it'll close Sunday at midnight. It's just one general scholarship application. If you look beside your application, when you get into the portal, there's another link that says opportunities. That just means those are scholarships based on the answers that you've given in that application, that they feel like you might be qualified for that scholarship. It doesn't mean that you're going to get that scholarship, but it's saying that it's matched you to that opportunity. There may be more questions that you have to answer. For instance, South Plains Community Action, they have a scholarship called the Howard Madeira Scholarship, Madra. I'm probably butchering the name. But they want those funds to go to somebody who has a direct relationship with that organization. So if you're a parent or someone, grandparent, maybe someone you know works there, they ask for that information of who works at community. You may even work at Community Action. They let their employees in on that scholarship opportunity. But they may ask more questions if you click on the link. If not, it's just taking the answers off what you've already completed on that general scholarship application. Just one application is all you have to fill out. We don't ask you to fill out one for every opportunity that you are interested in, because that would be silly. We don't want to stress you out. We want you to just do one and do it the best you can be. They're going to know how much time you spend on the application. So be mindful. I mean, if you take 5 minutes to complete it, it's probably going to reflect that. And you know the people that are looking at your application. I mean, if it's faculty members, you more than likely have had them in your class. So, or have been in their class. So take your time. The money's there, I promise you. If you have any questions at any time, you can come. I've got my business cards on the table. And then these orange sheets are just some normal questions that people ask with just general answers. The slap wraps will go around, Coke cans, energy drinks, whatnot. Y'all can take those as you wish. They've got the QR code to the portal, so you can just scan that and it'll go directly to the scholarship application. You'll just sign in by putting in your SPC email address, and then if it asks for a password, it's whatever you use for your Blackboard My SPC Text and Connect account. Do it, please.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, just reach out if you have any questions. Also, go ahead and do your surveys if you can. And we're going to do a drawing for the